You sit down fully aware of what needs to be done. The task is clear. The deadline exists, nothing is confusing. And yet, your body doesn't move. Your mind drifts. You open another tab. You check your phone. Not because you forgot, but because something inside resists starting. It feels heavier than it should. You're not relaxed, but you're not panicking either. You're stuck in between. This moment isn't about motivation. It's about hesitation that feels emotional, not logical. Most people assume this delay means a lack of discipline, but that's not what's happening. Your brain isn't refusing to work, it's protecting you from pressure. The moment a task carries expectations, judgment, or responsibility, your nervous system reacts. It quietly pulls you away. Not because the task is impossible, but because it feels unsafe to engage. Your brain doesn't ask if the task is important. It asks if starting will cost you emotionally. Some tasks don't look difficult, yet they feel exhausting before you even begin. That's because they carry emotional weight. Fear of failing, fear of not doing it well, fear of discovering your limits. Every time you think about starting, your energy dips slightly, your chest tightens, your focus blurs. This reaction isn't random or weak, it's learned. Your brain has linked the task with discomfort, so it delays to avoid that feeling. When your brain senses discomfort, it looks for relief. Something simple, something familiar, something that offers fast feedback. Cleaning, organizing, fixing small things. These actions feel calming because they restore control. They don't judge you, they don't carry risk. They offer visible progress without emotional threat. Your brain chooses them not because they matter more, but because they feel safer than starting something that feels uncertain. For your brain, the future doesn't feel real. Later is vague. Tomorrow feels distant. Until urgency arrives, the task stays emotionally invisible. You may know the deadline intellectually, but you don't feel it yet. Without emotional urgency, your brain doesn't activate. Time only becomes real when pressure turns immediate. That's why important work stays untouched for days, till suddenly it demands attention all at once. If you have ADHD, this pattern is amplified. Your brain doesn't activate based on importance, it activates based on intensity. Calm planning doesn't create movement. Emotional pressure does. Until the pressure rises, your system stays offline. This isn't a flaw or failure. It's a different neurological pattern, one that responds to urgency instead of structure, and stress instead of intention. Then something shifts. The deadline gets close. The risk becomes real. Suddenly, your brain turns on. Focus sharpens. Energy appears. Distractions fade. You wonder why this clarity wasn't available earlier. But this focus isn't discipline, it's survival. Your nervous system has entered emergency mode. The task didn't change. The emotional stakes did. This last-minute focus can feel powerful. You might tell yourself you work best under pressure. But what's really happening is panic-driven clarity. Stress is doing the job motivation couldn't. It works, but it comes at a cost. Your body stays tense. Your mind stays alert. And your brain learns that pressure is the only reliable way to function. When the task is finally done, you feel relief but also exhaustion, sometimes guilt, sometimes shame. You promise yourself you'll start earlier next time, but the pattern repeats, because nothing about the emotional process changed. You didn't fail to plan. You followed the same cycle your brain has practiced for years. Avoidance creates guilt. Guilt turns into self-criticism. Self-criticism increases emotional pressure, and pressure makes starting feel even more unsafe. This loop convinces you that the problem is who you are. But shame doesn't create action, it freezes it. The more you judge yourself, the more your brain avoids situations where it expects to feel judged again. The real problem isn't time management, it's emotional safety. Your brain delays because starting feels risky. Risky to fail, risky to disappoint, risky to confront your own limits. Until that feeling of danger is reduced, no productivity system will stick. Your brain needs safety before it can offer consistency. Progress doesn't begin with forcing yourself. It begins with changing the conditions around you. Smaller steps, lower expectations, softer starts. When a task feels less threatening, your brain no longer needs to escape. Motivation doesn't come first. Safety does. Starting for 5 minutes matters more than finishing perfectly. Tiny actions lower emotional resistance. Once movement begins, clarity follows. You don't need confidence to start. You need permission to begin imperfectly. That permission reduces fear, and fear is what was holding you back. Your brain isn't broken. It has been trying to protect you from overwhelm and pressure. When you understand that, the fight ends. You stop chasing panic and start building trust with your own mind. And slowly, work stops feeling like a threat and starts feeling possible again.